Dear students, welcome you all to Shirdi Sai Junior College English classes. Today's lesson is for class 12 students from State Board Academy. The lesson name is J.C. Bose. And the writer of this lesson is Aldous Huxley. Before I start this lesson, let me tell you some important points about the writer Aldous Huxley. Here the writer was born on 26th July 1894 in Godalming, Surrey of England. Here the Godalming is nothing but a historic town that was located in the southern part of East England. Later, he obtained graduation from the Balliol College that was affiliated to Oxford University in those days. In the early days of his life, he published some of the short stories and as well as poetry. Later, he worked as an editor for a literary magazine which was called Oxford Poetry. By the end of his life, he became a prominent personality. Some of his writings made him to be very popular in the world. So let me tell you some important writings that were written by him. The first one, Brave New World, which was a novel written and published in the year 1932. And the next, Perennial Philosophy. This book was published in the year 1945. And the next, Dose of Perception, it was published in the year 1954. And the another book that was written by him was Island, that was published in the year 1962. All of these books and writings made him to be very popular in the world. He is the one who was nominated 7 times for the prestigious awards, the Nobel Prize in literature. Okay, and the short story that we are going to discuss today was taken from a book called Testing Pilot. It was a novel, it was completely about adventures, which was written by Aldous Huxley. So in this book, he discusses and he mentioned about some of the simple instruments which were used by 2 personalities, Michael Faraday and Jagadish Chandra Bose, in their experiments. He also writes about some of the experiments which were done by Michael Faraday at his institute. So these are the important points that are needed to be discussed and known at this time. Let us move to the lesson, J.C. Bose. This lesson is about Jagadish Chandra Bose. Before I start this lesson, let me tell you some important points even about Jagadish Chandra Bose. Jagadish Chandra Bose was born on 30th November 1858, whose parents were Bhagwan Chandra Bose and Bhamasundari Bose. Both of these were from a middle class family. He obtained his graduation from St. Xavier's College, which was affiliated to the University of Kolkata. Later, he obtained graduation on Bachelor of Science from the Cambridge University. And later he continued his further studies in the University of London. Finally, he became a great biologist, physicist and botanist. And he has become as the early writer of science fiction too. Further, he has been called as the father of Bengali science fiction. Okay, later he started his investigations on radio frequencies and as well as microwave optics. The radio frequencies and as well as the microwave optics. Here the microwave is nothing but, it is a form of electromagnetic radiation with wavelengths ranging from 1 meter to 1 millimeter frequencies. So he is the one who worked on radio frequencies and as well as microwave optics. Further, he has been called as one of the fathers of radio science. He has given a significant contributions to science and technology. He also laid a great foundation of experimental science in the subcontinent of India. That's what you must know about him. Okay, so let us move to the lesson, J.C. Bose. So in this lesson, especially Aldous Huxley tries to discuss a serious subject of plant life in a humorous way. That you must understand. It is very important. And finally, I'll remind you this point. Okay, he also writes about some of the experiments that were conducted are done at Bose Institute in Kolkata. Right. So let me read for you all. Listen to me. The experimenters is a curious and special talent, armed with a tea canister and some wire with silk, a little sealing wax, and 2 or 3 jam pots. Faraday marched forth against the mysterious powers of electricity. He returned in triumph with their captured secrets. It was just a question of suitably juxtaposing the wax, the glass jars, and the wires. The mysterious powers couldn't help surrendering. So simple if you happen to be Faraday. So listen to me effectively. What he says here, when it comes to the experimentation of science and technology, it is not necessary to have an advanced instrumentation or any other technology. But it is very important to have the curiosity and the special talent of an experimenter. What made Aldous Huxley to say this? You know, both of these two personalities that I told you, Michael Faraday and Jagadish Chandra Bose, made him to be feeling like this. Because of them and because of their experiments, which was shown to them, he said these words. Okay, so let me tell you some important points about Michael Faraday here. Michael Faraday was an English scientist who has given significant contributions to the field of electricity. And he also contributed to the study of electromagnetism and electrochemistry. That's what actually you must understand about Michael Faraday. So what he says about Michael Faraday and his experiment, by taking some of the simple instruments like sealing wax, silk, wire, jam pots, some of the glasses, who has done a great experiment in order to invent some of the electric powers of electricity. So finally, he has done that experiment very successfully, and he found that there are the mysterious powers of electricity, which are highly difficult or impossible to understand. Such kind of mysterious powers were found by Michael Faraday in his experiment. So finally, what he says here, he has done that experiment very successfully, and he captured some of the important secrets that was made possible by Michael Faraday only because of gathering these simple items and using them in a proper way. Okay, he is the one who used these simple instruments in a proper way. He kept them in a proper order and he used them in a proper way. Because of the way he used those instruments, because of having a great knowledge and intelligence, this experiment was possible. Finally, what he says, the mysterious powers of electricity were completely surrendered to Michael Faraday. That's what he says here. So, that's why he says it would be so simple if you were Faraday. What he says here, it would be so simple to get such kind of mysterious powers. When we were Faraday, is it really possible making ourselves to be like Faraday? It is highly impossible. That's what he says here. So such kind of experiments are only possible with Michael Faraday. That's what he believed and said. According to Aldous Huxley, only the Michael Faraday can conduct or can do such kind of experiments. No one else can do upon the earth such kind of experiments. That you must understand. Okay, so let us move to the next paragraph. Here, the next paragraph onwards, he speaks about Jagadish Chandra Bose in a great way. That you must understand. Moreover, our topic is about Jagadish Chandra Bose only. The lesson is completely about Jagadish Chandra Bose. Okay, so listen to me effectively. And if you happen to be so J.C. Bose, it would be so simple with a little clockwork, some needles and filaments to devise machines that would make visible the growth of plants, the pulse of the vegetable hearts, the twitching of their nose, the process of the digestion. It would be so simple, though it cost even Bose long years of labor to perfect these instruments. What he says here about Jagadish Chandra Bose, okay, taking some of the simple instruments like needles and filaments, Jagadish Chandra Bose, the one who devised, which means who invented a machine. Not only one machine, he invented some of the machines by using some of the simple instruments. Okay, and these missions made possible visible the growth of plants and as well as the pulse of the vegetable hearts and also twitching of their nose and the process of the plant digestion. Everything is possible to see by using these instruments. So such kind of devices and instruments were invented by Jagdish Chandra Bose by using only simple instrument, simple things like needles, filaments and all. So what he has done according to Aldous Huxley, Jagdish Chandra Bose has done a little clockwork, that's it. What kind of efforts are needed to make all clock? Okay, such kind of those kind of efforts only were kept by Jagdish Chandra Bose. But remember, finally he felt, Aldous Huxley felt that was made possible because of having curiosity and special talent that are there in him in Jagdish Chandra Bose. Okay, that's what actually he believed finally. Because of these reasons only, he said very clearly about the first one that I said. Like when it comes to the experimentation of science and technology, it is not necessary to have an advanced instrumentation or any other technology, but it is very important to have curiosity and the special talent of the experimenter. Okay, so I hope you understood. And finally, what he says in the paragraph, he said, if you were Jagdish Chandra Bose, it would be possible. Which one? Inventing such kind of mission is possible. But according to him, no one can become like Jagdish Chandra Bose. He is only the scientist. We can see the Jagdish Chandra Bose is only the scientist that we can see conducting experiments in such a way and inventing machines in such a way. That's what actually he means to say. But if you of Jagdish Chandra Bose, such kind of inventions are really possible. But remember, it is completely imaginations. In our imaginations only, now we can invent such kind of devices or machines. But when it comes to the reality, no one else can do like Jagdish Chandra Bose. That's what actually he means to say. Hope you understood what I'm telling. Okay, so let us move to the next paragraph. At the Bose Institute in Calcutta, the great experimenter himself was a guide. Through all an afternoon, we followed him from marble to marble, ardently and with an enthusiasm, with the copiousness of ideas that were almost too much for his powers of expression and left him impatiently stammering. With the effort to elucidate methods, apprise results, unfold implications, he expounded them one by one. Yeah, what happened here? One day, Aldous Huxley happened to visit Bose Institute at Calcutta. There, Jagdish Chandra Bose himself was a guide to them. Aldous explained some of the people who were there. And that was the noon time. Each and every moment that they spent and each and every step that they had with the Jagdish Chandra Bose was completely marvel, wonderful and excellent to them. These are the feelings of Aldous Huxley. Okay, and at the time, the way Jagdish Chandra Bose explained to them about his experiments and the methods that they followed and the results that they got and the problems that they faced and the things which were actually done during their experiments. Everything was really awesome. So everything was explained to them very clearly one by one by Jagdish Chandra Bose. At the time of Jagdish Chandra Bose explaining each and everything, he was filled with some of the positive emotions. Those are aggressiveness, excitement, and at the same time, his mind is completely filled with the plentiful ideas. All of these made him to be stammered at the time of he explaining to them. That's what actually happened. Okay, he felt really wonderful at the time. Who Aldous Huxley. I hope you understood. So let me go to the next line. We watched the growth of a plant being traced out automatically by a needle on a sheet of smoked glass. We saw its sudden shuddering reactions to an electric shock. Here, those people have been shown an experiment. Okay, so in that experiment, what they observed here, they observed a plant and the growth of a plant that was made them visible to directly with the help of the machines which were invented by J.C. Bose. So, the growth of a plant was being traced out and observed very clearly by these people with the help of the machines which were used and invented by Jagdish Chandra Bose. That you must understand. How does that happen? Here, a plant was connected to a smoked glass with a needle. So, a needle is connected to a plant and as well as to a smoked glass. At the time of the plant growing, the recordings were noted down on the smoked glass. As the needle moved, that was identified and observed by these people with the help of the machines invented by Jagdish Chandra Bose. That's what actually happened here. They have also found a plant when it was given electric shock. Suddenly, they found the plant suddenly getting kind of shiverings and responding to that electric shock. That made them to be somewhat sad. Okay, that's what happened here. We watched a plant feeding. In the process, it was exhaling minute quantities of oxygen. Each time, the accumulation of exhaled oxygen reached a certain amount. A little bell, like the bell that warns you when you are nearly at the end of your line of typewriting, automatically rang. Yeah, what happened here? Here, they watched the plant feeding. At the time of the plant was being fed, they found some of the minute quantities of oxygen which was exhaled by the plant. And each time when they observed, they found the minute quantities of oxygen was increased. So the rise of the minute quantities of oxygen has been shown to them when the plant was being fed. Which means what? Plants take food, they require nourishment. That's what actually they observed and found. And at the time, see, all of these are actually made them to be visible directly, and they have also heard a kind of a bell sound. And that bell sound is almost similar to a sound that we can hear from a typewriting machine. You know, if you take a typewriting machine, after each and every line, when we switch to the next line, we can hear kind of a bell sound. Such kind of bell sound is heard to them continuously when at the time of the plant being fed. Let me continue reading from here. When the sun shone on the plant, the bell rang often and regularly. Shaded the plant stopped feeding. The bell rang only at long intervals or not at all. A drop of stimulant added to the water in which the plant was standing set the bell wildly tinkling, as though some record-breaking typists were at the machine. So they have shown one more important thing. Here, the plant was exposed to sun rays. When it was exposed to sun rays, these people found the plant reacting to the sun rays. And by listening to the continuous the bell sounds, they observed at the same time, they have also been shown a shaded plant stopped feeding. So at the time, they found that the bell rang at the long intervals, which means here the plant was stopped feeding and it was not energetic and it has become completely weak. Because of the reason, these people were able to hear the bell sounds at the long intervals. Later, it stopped ringing. That's what actually happened. And they have also been shown a stimulant, a drop of stimulant added to the water. What happened here? Here the stimulant is nothing but a booster, energy booster that gives energy to the plant. So as soon as the stimulant was added to the water, immediately it has been observed the plant started reacting to it. And these people heard the continuous bell sounds. That's what actually happened. These bell sounds are almost the sound that we can hear from a typewriting machine when the fastest typist sits in front of the typewriting machine and types. You know, every time he switches to the next line, right? So, however, we can hear the bell sounds in such a way, these people were able to hear the bell sounds continuously when the plant was given a stimulant. Hope you understood what I'm telling. Let us move to the next lines. Near it, for the plant was feeding out of doors, stood a large tree So J.C. Bose told us that it had been brought to the garden from distance. Yeah, what happened here? Here, all of these people was shown some of the experiments, being shown the experiments. They have also observed a tree that was planted, that was transplanted outside in the garden, nearby the door. So, pointing towards the tree which was transplanted or which was planted in the garden nearby the door, Jagdish Chandra Bose started telling them that it was the tree, a fully grown tree, transplanted from the far distance. Imagine, those days, transplanting a huge tree is highly impossible. I don't think so that even still we can see such kind of transplantations, right? But in those days only that was happened by Jagdish Chandra Bose. So let me continue reading from here. Transplanting is generally fatal to a fully grown tree. It dies of shock. So would most men if their arms and legs were amputated without an anesthetic. Bose administered chloroform. The operation was completely successful. Waking the anesthetized tree immediately took root in its new place and flourished. So here, Jagdish Chandra Bose started talking about the transplantation of a fully grown tree. When it comes to the transplantation of fully grown tree, it must be administered the recommendable dose of chloroform. Then the operation can be successful. If not, the tree definitely would die. If you take a man who has been amputated his legs and arms without giving any anesthesia, definitely the man would die of getting shocks and extreme pains. It was only happens with the Arunima Sinha, but highly impossible with any other people. That is the reason why, and you people have been given a lesson about Arunima Sinha in the first year. Hope you understand. Okay, so here he administered a recommendable dose of chloroform to a fully grown tree. He was able to transplant the tree. Finally, that operation became successful. That's what actually happened here. And this fully grown tree, which was transplanted in the Bose garden, it started taking its roots in the new place. Which tree? Awakening tree started taking its roots in the new place and started flourishing itself. That's what actually happened here. Let me continue reading from here. But an overdose of chloroform is as fatal to a plant as to a man. In one of the laboratories, we was shown the instrument which records the beating of a plant's heart by a system of levers similar in principle to that with which the self-recording barometer has made us familiar, but enormously more delicate and sensitive to the minute pulsations which occur in the layer of tissue immediately beneath the outer end of the stem are magnified. So try to understand these lines very effectively. What he says here, if overdose of chloroform is administered to any kind of a tree or any plant, definitely it could be dangerous. However, it is dangerous if it is administered to a man in such a way, it is dangerous even to a plant or a tree, even a fully grown tree. That's what actually you must understand. And here, Aldous Huxley and the people was shown a machine which was invented by J.C. Bose. That machine is nothing but a device which is called the crescograph. Okay, and that device was specially invented by Jagdish Chandra Bose by using some of the simple instruments. Okay, so when they have seen the crescograph, they felt it as it was like a self-recording barometer. As these people have an experience with the barometer, they felt it was familiar to barometer. But later they realized it is not like barometer, any other device or machine. It is something different. What made them to be say like this? Here, these people have been shown some of the experiments, and they have also observed some of the records recorded by the crescograph. Okay, So here, enormously more delicate and sensitive minute pulsations which were from the plant were recorded, and they have also found the minute pulsations were increased. Okay, and all of these are noted down by the crystallograph. These minute pulsations are occurred, are identified beneath or under the outer layer of the stem. And these minute pulsations are raised. That is what actually has been observed by these people with the help of a crystallograph. Hope you understood what I am telling. Here, these minute pulsations are recorded in a dotted graph on a moving sheet of smoked glass. I told you already. A plant was connected with the needle to a smoked glass. Okay, and as the needle was connected to the smoked glass and to a tree, when the plant started growing, the needle started moving on a dotted graph. Okay, and such kind of dots, millions of dots were found on the smoked glass, and all of these are recorded automatically. That is what actually they observed with the help of the crystallograph. Okay, so let me go through the next lines. Bose instruments have made visible things that it has been hitherto impossible to see, even with the aid of the most powerful microscope. Yeah, so here the Bose instruments, which means the instruments which were invented by Jagadish Chandra Bose, made them to visible. Such kind of visibility is highly impossible even with the help of microscope. In such a way, the things were shown to them. Okay, so let me read from here. The normal vestibular heartbeat, as we saw it and recording itself point by point on the moving plate, is very slow. It must take the best part of a minute for the pulsating tissue to pass from maximum contraction to maximum expansion. From here, whatever the experiments were done by Jagadish Chandra Bose, those were shown to them. Okay, from here, Aldous Huxley tried to explain each and every experiment and tried to say the feeling that he had got when he has seen those experiments. Okay, so let me tell you, here normal vestibular heartbeat has been shown to them. They observed the normal vestibular heartbeat was very slow, and that was completely recorded on a smoked glass by a needle. That was shown to them with the help of a crystallograph. Okay, as it was completely slow and the recordings were very clear, and a crystal clear recordings were noted down by the crystallograph. In which way these recordings were noted down from the maximum contraction to maximum expansion. Whatever the recordings are possible to be noted down, all were noted down. Those were made visible to them. That's what actually you must understand. But a grain of caffeine or of camphor affects the plant's heart in exactly the same way as it affects the heart of an animal. So here, they was shown one more thing. A plant was given caffeine or a camphor. They were not actually particularly sure about them. But something like camphor or caffeine was administered, was given to the plant. Here, the camphor is nothing but a substance that is used to kill insects. So, as soon as the plant was given camphor or caffeine, started observing the plant reacting to them. So, finally, they felt the heart of a plant was completely affected. Okay, so you must understand this one. However, a heart of an animal is affected in such a way, heart of a plant, vegetable plant was affected. Now, such kind of things were actually shown to them. Okay, the stimulant was added to the plant's water, and almost immediately the undulations of the graph lengthened out under our eyes, and at the same time came close together. The pulsations of the plant's heart had become more violent and more rapid. So later, a stimulant, I told you already, stimulant is nothing but a booster that makes the plant to be anesthetized. As soon as the stimulant was added to the water, so immediately the plant started responding to the stimulant. The plant's heart had become more violent and rapid, more energetic and active. And the undulations are nothing but the ups and downs of the line that was shown on screen of ECG like. And these undulations, nothing but the ups and downs, have flattened, and again they came close together and moved. That is what actually has been observed by Aldous Huxley and the people. Hope you understood what I'm telling. Okay. See, what did they observe here? They observed a normal plant and the pulsations of the heartbeat. And they found the recordings were recorded by the Cresco graph from the maximum contraction to maximum expansion. They have also found and observed a plant when it was given caffeine or camphor. So at the time they reacted and they found that the heartbeat of the vegetable heart was affected. Later, and the plant has been given a stimulant. So here what happened? The plant reacted to the stimulant. Okay, the undulations which are there are shown on a screen, that we can actually see such kind of undulations on ECG screen. And those undulations, immediately they flattened and immediately came close together and moved in a sharp irregular way. That's what actually happened. After the pick me up, we administered poison. A mortal dose of chloroform was dropped into the water. The graph became the record of a death agony. So what happened here? After all of these experiments, these people were asked to pick a poison, nothing but a mortal dose of chloroform, and finally those people administered mortal dose of chloroform to a plant, and as soon as the mortal dose of chloroform was added to the water, immediately plants started reacting to that poison. That was shown to them in a graph. So whatever they observed here, nothing but the graph line has shown the death agony of a plant. Death agony is nothing but the extreme pains that the plant had got. That's what actually you must understand here. Let me continue reading from here. As the poison paralyzed the heart, the ups and downs of the graph flattened out streams of undulations, but so long as any life remained in the plant, this medial line did not run level, but was jagged with sharp, irregular ups and downs that represented in a visible symbol the spasms of murdered creature desperately struggling for life. After a little while, there were no ups and downs. The line of dots was quite straight. The plant was dead. So try to understand from here. So what happened? The plant was given a mortal dose of chloroform, which is nothing but a poison. So this poison immediately paralyzed the vegetable heart. Okay, so immediately that was shown to them on a screen, the undulations which are noted down by them, and those are completely flattened. So the line whichever was shown to them has completely flattened. That's what he said here. And try to understand, that shows that there is no, that shows the death agony of a plant, and there is no life remained in the plant. If there is a life remained in the plant, what would have happened? The undulations whichever are flattened, they would be jagged. They would come close together and jagged is nothing but moved in sharp and irregular manner. That's what could be happened. But finally, what you must understand here, as the plant was given poison, the plant's heart is completely paralyzed. Okay, and it has shown that the plant has died. All of these were observed with the help of the machines invented by Jagadish Chandra Bose. So let me read for you the last line. After a little while, there were no more ups and downs. The line of dots was quite straight. The plant was dead. So after some time, what was actually observed by them? No more ups and downs were observed on a screen, and everything has become completely flattened. That indicated the plant has dead. That's what actually happened here. Let me continue reading from here. The spectacle of a dying animal affects us painfully. We can see its struggles and sympathetically something of its pain. The unseen agony of a plant leaves us indifferent. To a being with eyes a million times more sensitive than ours, the struggles of a dying plant would be visible and therefore distressing. Bose's instruments endows us with this more than microscopically acuteness of vision. The poison flow manifestly writhes before us. The last moments are so distressingly like those of a man that we are shocked by the newly revealed spectacle of them to into a hitherto unfilled sympathy. If you take the spectacle of a dying animal, here the spectacle is nothing but the show. So if you take any kind of a show of the death of an animal, definitely that makes the people to feel much painful, okay, and to be completely disturbed. Why? Because the struggles of the dying animal and the pains and sufferings of the dying animals were completely shown to us. Yes or no? Because of that, people get more sympathy and concern on a particular animal. Whereas if you take a plant and the death of a plant, it could be something different, because as the death of a plant wouldn't be shown to the people, so definitely they won't react to that because it is completely different. That's what actually he says here. Okay, so what you must understand here, when it comes to the eyes of a man or any other animal, they are completely sensitive than most of the organs that we have. They are sensitive millions of times, they are sensitive than most of the organs. So, if anything is made visible to the eyes, so definitely they can't bear, and definitely they cause some disturbances. That you must understand here. So what happened with Aldous Huxley and some other people? These people were shown the show of the death of plants. The spectacle of a dying plant was shown to them. Okay, with the help of the crescograph, which was invented by Jagdish Chandra Bose. That you must understand. Okay, because of that, as these people have seen those experiments directly, and as these people have seen the death of the plant directly, and they felt completely uncomfortable and much painful towards the plant. Here, what happened? So, Jagdish Chandra Bose instruments made them to visible each and every pain and the suffering that the plant had got. Because of that, these people are unable to forget them. And all of those things were shown to them in a crystal clear way that they can't even have such kind of visibility even with the microscope. That's what he said clearly. Okay, so what was shown to them? Those people were shown a poisoned plant and a flower. In front of their eyes only, the poison flower completely writhed, nothing but twists and died. So they were seeing the death of the dying plant and the sufferings and the extreme pains that the plant had got. Okay, that's what actually happened here. So finally, what he says here, the spectacle of a dying plant left a kind of a strong impression on their mind. Because of that only, they have felt sympathy that they haven't felt till that time. That's what actually has been mentioned here. So here, hitherto is nothing but until. Hope you understood what I'm telling. So let me go through the next lines. Sensitive souls whom a visit to the slaughterhouse has converted to vegetarianism will be well advised, if they do not want to have their menu still further reduced, to keep clear of the Bose Institute. After watching the murder of a plant, they will probably want to confine themselves to a strictly mineral diet. But the new self Daniel would be as vain as the old. Listen to me effectively. He says very clearly about the sensitive souls. Sensitive souls are nothing but the people with the sensitive mindedness and sensitive hearts. And if these people are shown a spectacle of a dying animal, what would happen? Definitely they will change their menu. They'll stop eating the non-veg and they'll strictly stick to the vegetarianism. And if these people are taken to the Bose Institute, what will happen there? Definitely, they will be shown the experiments that were conducted by Jagdish Chandra Bose. Okay, So as these souls are sensitive, definitely what they will do, they'll stop eating even vegetables and shift to the mineral diet. So definitely these people won't take even vegetables also. In such a way, everything is shown to them very clearly that they can't even see even using the microscope. So what he says here, the next, he says the new self Daniel is nothing but the self-sacrifice that was done the later is almost equal to the first one. What happened later, which means the second time, the people, those who are taken to the Bose Institute, are shown experiments done by Jagdish Chandra Bose, and observing that they will change their menu, shift to the mineral diet. That's what the second one. So that is useless. Yes or no? That is not at all good. Stop eating everything and taking only tablets. How far it is good? Even in such a way, the first one also is useless. Nothing but looking at a dying animal, changing the menu and shift to the vegetarianism. So you people have been given food, and whatever that you like to eat, eat. Nothing is wrong here. Whether it is non-veg or veg, whatever. That's what he means to say here. Why I told you that? Because there is a reason. The people, those who eat non-veg or veg, okay, all are similar, are equal, according to Aldous Huxley. Not only these people, okay, even the people, those who eat only metals, are also as equal to the cannibalistics. Here the cannibals are nothing but people who eat only human flesh. Let me continue reading from here. The ostrich, the sword swallower, the glass-eating fakir are as cannibalistic as the frequenters of chop houses take life as fatally as do the vegetarians. He says very clearly about the ostrich. Ostrich is the one which eat some of the metals and stones. And if you take the sword swallows, who swallows sword, and the glass-eating fakirs, and these people in this shows, they show that they swallow swords, and some of the people show that they eat glass pieces. If you take these people and imagine that they eat only these, okay, they don't take any other food also, you must understand these people are as equal to the people, those who eat human flesh. Here, cannibalistics means people who eat human flesh. These people are equal to the people, those who visit chop houses. Chop house is nothing but, we can say, it is the place where the meat is sold. All of these are equal to frequent visitors of chop houses. Okay, so let me continue reading from here. Bose's earlier researches on metals, researchers which show that metals respond to stimuli are subject to fatigue and react to poisons very much, as living vegetable and animal organisms do have deprived the conscientious practitioners of ahimsa of their last hope. So what he says here, Aldous Huxley and some of the people was shown some of the experiments done by J.C. Bose in his institution, where there was shown experiments on metals. Metals have been given poison and as well as stimuli. They understood even metals also respond to poison and stimulant. Okay, and finally they decided that they have their lives. They have even the expiry dates too. That's what actually had been shown to them and they understood. So finally he said that these experiments causes depression to ahimsa practitioners. Here the word meaning, the word consciences is nothing but very careful. So there are people, those who follow, those who practice ahimsa very carefully. They feel that they eat only vegetables and they don't kill any other living organisms. And these people must understand even the vegetables also have their life. That is what actually has been shown to Aldous Huxley and some of the people in the Bose Institute. And all of these people are as equal to the cannibals, those who eat human flesh. Okay, finally what he says here, even the glass eating fakirs and Swartz followers, even ostrich also equal to the cannibals. There is a reason behind of telling these words. These people feel few things upon the earth are inanimate. Inanimate is nothing but not living organisms. So finally what he says here, whatever that we feel inanimate is upon the earth, even that also is alive. That's what actually had been taught by Aldous Huxley here. So try to understand these words. If you feel any difficulty to understand this lesson, watch this video effectively. I told you very clearly, Aldous Huxley tries to discuss a serious subject of plant life in a humorous way. I hope you understood this lesson effectively. Thank you very much, students. Have a good day.